the governor of Nasarawa State, Governor Abdullahi Sule. Thank you so much, Governor Sule, for joining us tonight. Let's get some conversation around this SARS started. We understand that some governors of the North are not really down with the idea of scrapping SARS. Is that true, and why?
Thank you very much, Seun, and thank you for having me for the program. I think the governor of Ekiti, who happens to be our chairman, has clearly indicated the reasons, and I have listened to the governor of Northern, chairman of the Northern Governors, the governor Plateau has also told you exactly the reasons. The reasons are not far-fetched. Let me speak from the point of Nasarawa State. Here in Nasarawa State, we have had a lot of robbery cases where SARS became very handy. They were very helpful. They were able to help us, especially in the state capital of Lafia. It was SARS that helped us a lot to be able to do that. I got to understand that the SARS officers were actually well-trained officers to be able to face armed robbers and to be able to face those kind of things, which other policemen would not be able to do that. But let me clearly tell you, none of the governors, including all the northern governors, is against the protest. I think the protesters have the right, to be able to express themselves, especially in a situation like we have, like democracy that we have. And I think they won. They came out and said, well, they don't want SARS, and the federal government as well as the police headquarters were quick to say, okay, if that is your demand, we have done that. So what the northern governors were saying clearly was that some of us, SARS had benefited us. So what is going to be the replacement for SARS, now that you have discarded SARS? So even in some of these southern states, there were so many other places where SARS had been useful, but just like any other part of our own system in the country, you will find some bad eggs that have done something wrong, and that's the reason why some governors were asking for reforming of the SARS instead of throwing the bathing water and the baby. Go ahead and just reform what is wrong. Even in Nasarawa State, I will give you a good example. We have had a few problems with the SARS officers where we were told, that they were taking money and releasing some of the dangerous people. And of course, we have a very good commissioner of police, Bola Lenge, and we spoke with him immediately, and he went to work. And he was able to identify one or two people, and he was able to transfer them, from one place or the other. So I think it's just like in our own Nigerian system, you must have something that is wrong somewhere. And in this case, they found SARS was wrong, mostly in the southern states. So that's what the northern governors were saying, because SARS had been useful to some of the things that we've been doing.
So let's get this perspective right. Maybe you are a governor. Are the security templates of the northern region different from the southern region?
But the security challenges of every state is different. That is what is different. I live in Lagos, nearly 18 years of my life since I returned from the US in the year 2000. Lagos doesn't have the kind of problems we had in Nasarawa State. Lagos might have robberies and things like that, but the kind of banditry, kidnapping, and things like that we have in northern part of the country, Lagos doesn't have the kind of Boko Haram they have in Borno State. Lagos doesn't have, Osun State or Oyo State and the rest of that. So it is not the security, it's the security challenges that are completely different. So you can't say what you are applying in form of security perspectives for Lagos or for Osun or for Oyo or Ogun and the rest of that. You will apply it and it will work in Borno, in Nasarawa, in Niger, in Plateau. It's not going to work. So every state has its own challenge. There is no clear template that this one fits all for everybody. There is none. Because we are different states and we have different challenges. That's what it is.
When the northern governors are saying not quite down with the scrapping, it does give a perception as though the northern template is totally different from the southern region of the country and what is playing out. The issue of human rights has come to play. And when a number of Nigerians get to the street, those who vote, those who are in power states, who do not want this democracy, do you think that the government or the governments across the country should be listening to the number of people who have taken to the streets?
I understand clearly. And to give you an example, our state, when they came, the protesters, it was the same police that guided them along the way. Shaul, let me be honest with you. Some of these things have taken a different dimension. The truth of the matter is that, and when you watch some of these videos you are showing, in certain places, just this weekend, I was in Lagos on Friday. I was in Abuja on Saturday. And now I'm back in Lafia. So I have seen some of these things practically, what they are. I drove actually, right from the airport, going through Oshodi, going through Ijora, going through, Western Avenue, all the way to CMS. There was no problem, and until we came to Awolo Road, that's where we found some problems. And I'm telling you, everywhere you go, you will find one problem or the other, and they are different. And different people have taken this. I'm sure the genuine people that started the SARS issue we may not be able to control it right now because it has gone from SARS to now 5 other items. Now it has gone to maybe some more than 5 items in some other places. So there are some other people that may be trying to hijack it. And I think that's what the people are saying. So it's not that the North is different from the South. No, a lot of us live in the South for most of our life. But the truth of the matter is that the challenges in the North are completely different from the challenges in the South in some cases. So you can approach one policy and say, this is the security policy for one state, therefore it must be applied to another state. It may not work. This is what the northern governors are saying. But when it comes to this, there is no politics, there is no regionalization, there is no issue of sectionality. There's just nothing whatsoever. It is the issue of our people, and everybody is concerned about the people who voted you into power, including the northern governors, the southern governors. When we had our meeting earlier today, which I'm sure